Dear Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, thank you for my cool debaters. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Blessa Salabi. I'm here to support the motion which says that institute attacks on school can be avoided. If you run a school or you're a student, it is important for you to take security serious. Before I proceed, what is incessant attacks? Incessant attacks are non-citizen violence who try to kill or harm someone. Here are my points why incessant attacks on schools can be avoided. Firstly, all schools should be digitalized because it's young people like you and me that understand digitalization more than any other person. So in case if we see someone planning an attack on a school, we'll be able to call the school authority or call the police to come and handle the case. Secondly, all schools in rural areas should take in more security because children should not be kidnapped again or murdered. Thirdly, all schools should be fenced and gated. This is to avoid thieves and sudden appearance of terrorists. However, on no account should a school be without a heavily guarded security personnel stationed at the gate of every school. This is to know the activity happening outside the school. Thirdly, all schools should have an identification card to know who is a student or a worker of any school. Fourthly, all schools should be sure of who they are employing. They should be sure that they are not employing a terrorist to come and work in their school. They should be sure that they are employing someone worthy of their trust and they are not putting the children's life into danger. Fourthly, the rate of youth getting unemployed is at a high rate now in Nigeria. Who can tell me now? Many people are graduating without getting a job. What of it now? They could be employed in UNEDO, UNICEF, ILO, etc. In this way, they will not go into crime to come and attack a school. I hope with this viewpoint of mine, you are convinced and not confused that incessant attacks on school can be avoided. Thank you.
This is the proprietress in abstention, the principal, panel of impartial judges, the able moderator, the accurate timekeeper, my fellow debaters, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gadra Zaranjabi and I am here on this great day to vehemently oppose the motion incessant attacks on schools can be avoided. But before I proceed, I would like to quickly brush the meaning of some concepts central to the topic, namely incessant attacks on schools. An incessant attack is an aggressive or violent act against a person or place in a ceaseless, constant, perpetual, and never-ending way, especially if it's unpleasant. While a school is an educational institution designed to provide learning spaces, a learning environment for the teaching of students under the directives of teachers. The following points I shall give will convince you that incessant attacks on schools cannot be avoided. Firstly, criminality is found in every society. Everyone would agree with me that crime is common to every society, even in developed countries across America, Europe, Asia, etc. Crime is known to be everywhere. Criminals want to perpetrate to these schools and destroy them for one reason or the other. If criminals are bent on doing wrong, how can we avoid them? On Saturday, Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State ordered 10 schools located on the outskirts of the state be shut. Not long ago, the terrorists who hijacked the Kaduna bound train released a video where they threatened to kidnap President Muhammadu Buhari, a home president of a country, and the Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, leading to the immediate closure of all unity schools in Abuja, which was later joined by the private sector in July 2022. My question is, were all the problems eradicated before schools were asked to reopen on the 12th September 2022? The answer is capital no. These problems were not solved. Secondly, children are soft targets for criminals. Hence, incessant attacks on schools across Nigeria, such as Chibok Girls Schools, whom we adopted 276 in Borno State, Dachi Girls Schools, Kakara Boys Schools, among others. We must also know that parents and even the government love children so much I can do anything for them. Criminals, especially terrorists, now see them as targets of attack when they want government to meet their demands. Another important reason why incessant attacks on schools cannot be avoided is the poor attitude of government to security. Government doesn't have enough police officers to protect all the schools in Nigeria, thereby creating room for criminals to attack our schools. Last but not least, our society has been rewarding criminals, and so criminals become bold and unrelenting in their criminality. For instance, you are aware of the billions of naira being paid to criminals, terrorists, and bandits who have attacked our schools and kidnapped our pupils. In another instance, the 121 students of Bethel Baptist High School in Kaduna State who were kidnapped in 2021 were released after the payment of millions of naira safety were released after the government spent undisclosed billions of naira to the abductors, according to a United Nations report. And let's also not forget to mention the abduction of 300 students in Kakara Government Secondary School and the 27 boys of Government Science Secondary School, Kagara, Niger State, who were all released after payment of huge sums of money to the abductors by the government. With this point I have raised, you will agree with me that incident attacks on schools across the country has become a big lucrative business that has made it impossible to curb. Criminals now see it as profitable, and so money being paid to them by the government is what they use to buy more weapons to keep attacking our schools. With this convincing point I have given, I am able to prove beyond doubt that incident attacks on schools cannot be avoided. From Genesis 1, I am here to support the topic which says incessant attacks on schools can be avoided. Before I proceed, what is incessant and attack? Incessant is an offense that occurs regularly, while attack is the motion of hurting someone intentionally. Hear my point. Incessant attacks on schools can be avoided by installing CCTV in all nooks and crannies of the school premises. It is needful that the school catches all activities that happen on camera. 2. The school compound should be fenced and gated. On no account should anyone come inside the school without anyone telling them to. 3. There should be a security guard stationed at the school gate. On no account should the school gate be without being manned by a security guard. 4. Only the parents of the student should be the one who picks up the students from the school. 5. Students and staff should be in possession of their ID card. In case of anything that happened to them, they will know that this person or that is from this school or another. I hope I'm able to convince you, or not to confuse you, that incessant attacks on school can be avoided. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, the panel of judges, the accurate timekeeper, my fellow students, and the co-debaters. My name is Tiolu Alashe Omidiji, a representative of JSS2, here to oppose the motion that says incessant attacks on schools can be avoided. Firstly, what are incessant attacks? Incessant attacks on schools can be defined as continuous and reoccurring attacks on schools which cannot be stopped or avoided. Examples of schools that have been victims of these attacks are Chibok girls and Kagara boys. Incessant attacks on schools have become a serious problem in our today Nigeria. This started like child's play, but today it has risen to become a serious cause for attention. I'll be backing up my claims with the following points. Firstly, poverty in the land. Poverty has led many citizens into different crimes out of desperation for survival. One of these crimes being attacking schools or banditry. Secondly, there is no political will on the part of the government to stop these attacks from happening. Bandits that have been caught or arrested have not been punished in such a way that will discourage potential criminals from committing this crime. So what do you expect to happen when crime goes unpunished? It will surely continue. Thirdly, the Nigerian educational system. Many people that are meant to school, that are not in school for certain reasons, are easily lured or influenced into banditry when they have nothing to it. As the saying goes, an idle mind is the devil for sure. Moreover, the government does not prioritize security in any way. That's why bandits have more sophisticated weapons than our security officers and personnel, which also do not have the adequate training required to stop these attacks from happening. Lastly, there are infinite reasons why these attackers will attack schools, some of them being godfatherism, peer influence, bad parenting, and disagreements with religious beliefs. And the government can't find a way to stop all of these reasons at once. So I don't see Nigeria becoming an attack-free country anytime soon. I believe with this point I have raised, I was able to convince you that incessant attacks on schools cannot be avoided. Thank you.
Principals duly observed. My name is Angelina Wilson Odafia. I am a student of JSS1. I am here to support the topic that says incessant attack on school can be avoided. But before I proceed, I need to define the meaning of incessant attacks. Incessant is the way of going out without stopping in an annoying way, while attack is the attempt to hurt someone with violence. Incessant attack can be avoided in my following ways. 1. It can be avoided by providing security, e.g. police, army, civil defense, etc. 2. It can be avoided by providing appropriate security personnel. 3. The government should provide social amenities, e.g. provision of water, provision of food, etc. 4. The school should be first-run with the use of CCTV camera. Lastly, the school should be security conscious of anyone that wants to enter and live in the school or to go out of the school premises. With this point of mind, I hope I have convinced you and not to confuse you that incessant attack on school can be avoided. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Vichy David, a student of JSS 2. I'm here to oppose the motion that incessant attack on schools can be avoided. But before I proceed, permit me to use this medium to downgrade and make justifications towards what my counterparts have said. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all these points mentioned by my opponents are not true. The following points of mine shall convince you that incessant attacks on schools cannot be avoided. Firstly, incessant attacks on schools cannot be avoided because, sadly, the Nigerian state have not been able to rise to the challenge of ensuring schools to student protection, which is attributed to lack of political will on the part of the government. Secondly, it will even become more difficult to avoid these attacks if these bodies are not even Boko Haram members or are in Esquimalt, which are systematically exempted to Boko Haram and to Western education. Thirdly, the abduction of school children have become lucrative business for the criminals involved. For instance, 110 schoolgirls aged 11 to 19 years old were kidnapped by the Boko Haram terrorists from government girls' secondary Dakshi Maiduguri at about 5:30 p.m. on the 19th of February 2018. Furthermore, on the 5th of July 2021, 121 students were kidnapped from the Bethel Baptist High School in Kaduna State. To mention briefly, for all these cases of kidnapping, a lot of money was kidnapped, and parents found into mourning and wishing they never sent their children to school. Mr. Chairman, you agree with me that this is very disheartening. Fourthly, lastly, it has been alleged that these criminals have their collaborators among the elites in our society who are using this medium to enrich their pockets by demanding huge ransoms from their victims. They will frustrate every effort made by the government to curb this menace. With these strong, convincing points we have raised, I am able to convince you that incessant attacks on schools cannot be avoided.
And once again, my name is Blessed Salabi. I'm here to bring out more points of what me and my fellow debaters who are supporting the motion have been trying to bring out. Here, the first speaker here said that crimes, because the society isn't improving in crime, they're trying to reduce it, and crimes can be stopped through security personnel. There should be security personnel in every school. That's why even the time that she said that they took people from this school, they are avoiding it by putting more security personnel into school. So who can tell me that incessant attacks on school can be avoided? With the second speaker said about poverty can be stopped through government. I hope that these things that I'm telling you is true, that poverty can be stopped by government and incessant attacks on school can be stopped because youth can be empowered and walk into jobs and employment like UNICEF, United, just like I said, ILO. They can work there and poverty can stop. I hope with these things that I've said, I've been able to bring out more points that incessant attacks on school can be avoided. Thank you.
Hello once again, starting on the existing protocol. I'm Godred Onakjobi, and I am here to counter my opponent has said. From what I've gathered from my colleagues, they are trying to say that if government can ensure safety in our schools can be safe. Surely all of you know the type of government we are talking about. If this same government are handing out ransoms to those criminals who have attacked our schools, how can incessant attacks on schools be stopped? If this same government don't respond vividly to the security threats in our schools, how can incessant attacks on schools be stopped? Instead of this government to be tracking these criminals down and giving them severe punishment to show a good example to others who want to join in to this criminality, they are rewarding them. Surely these criminals will want more money and doing evil seems convenient for them. Even it is an own fact that some of our government officials are even sponsoring these criminals to do bad acts. Surely incessant attacks on schools cannot be stopped because the government are rewarding them, which is increasing the rate of incessant attacks now.